grabación, les pongo mi correo y ya se la piden a Rafa o me la piden y ya les pasamos eso, ¿vale? Okay, so Johnny, thank you for being with us today. We are very happy to have you with us. And is there anything that you would like to say before we start with the questions from the journalists?
Sure. First of all, good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this. This event has been something that myself and the band have been looking forward to for a long time. It's planning for a long time, and we're happy that we're going to get to do it. We were happy with all how friendly and how cool La Piedad was about having us for this. So October 17th to the 21st, we'll be playing 5 shows at La Piedad Live Music on Insurgentes. And we're titling this event 5 Nights on Insurgentes. So welcome, everybody.
Thank you so much, Johnny. Now, I already have some questions lined up. So I'm going to start with our first journalist, Arnulfo from Síntesis Hidalgo. Arnulfo, go ahead.
Thank you, Adriana. Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Johnny, good you.
Nice to see you, brother.
Nice to see you. Me too. So my first question is, what is that keeps you generally connected to Mexico to this day?
Well, it's been the same since the first time that we went there. It is the feeling that we got from the people coming and listening to our music. They would share their thoughts, and we found that the Mexican audience is hearing us very different than other audiences around the world, and it was what we had always hoped for while sharing our art. So from day one on, we have shared that with the Mexican audience and looked forward to doing it again up close and personal.
Okay, my second question for you, Johnny. So in your opinion, how is the dark gothic rock scene currently positioned in this moment, for example?
I thank you for that question, but I've answered this question over the years. I do not pay attention to any particular scene or movement when it comes to music. To me, all music is just music, whether it's country music, classical, rock, whatever it is. So I pay attention more to music overall than I do a particular community. Having said that, the folks that consider themselves the goth community have welcomed Human Drama and myself with open arms. So there's absolute love to the Gothic community and to all music lovers.
Okay, and my last question, Johnny. Sorry about it, for the time, for your patience. I appreciate it. So my last question is, why did the idea of reworking the excellent Human Drama song called it, you know what I mean, Death of an Angel, come about it?
Well, when we started to do and plan for 10 Small Fractures, myself and Mark Balderas, we were very careful as to how we selected the songs. Death of an Angel has a special little thought behind it, and you might already know the answer to this. When we were looking for how to finish the album, that was when we decided to do Death of an Angel, because Death of an Angel was the first song on the first Human Drama album, Feel, and we had a feeling that 10 Small Fractures just could be the final Human Drama album. So we ended the album purposely with Death of an Angel, so that it both starts with Death of an Angel and it concludes, if it concludes, it concludes with the same song.
Thank you so much, Johnny. You're a gentleman. Appreciate it for your help. Thank you so much. See you soon in Mexico.
Absolutely.
You're the Mexico. You're not from LA. You're the Mexican this moment.
Yes.
See you soon.
I accept.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you,
Thank you,
Adriana.
Gracias, Arnulfo. I agree, Johnny. You're honorary Mexican.
I'll take it.
Now we move on with our next question. This is from Elizabeth from Metro newspaper. Elizabeth.
Hola, gracias. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Thanks for your time. So
course.
my question is about these 5 nights in Mexico. So in one of those nights, you will play a complete album from your discography?
No, we will not. We're not doing that again. We did that at Metropolitan.
Yes.
So this time what we're doing is we're picking 5 different sets, and a lot of them there'll be a mixture of all of our albums. So that's why we're saying every night will be a little bit different. There will be different songs every night, but we are very much, because we didn't get to do it at the Metropolitan, we're very excited about playing a lot of the bigger songs that weren't included in that night. And I'll give away one of the secrets. We have brought back from our Feel album the song There Is Only You, which has been one of the highlights of our rehearsals. So we're by not doing one album and being restricted to it, it is wide open to do things however we feel. So when we feel like, let's say it's the second night and we feel like doing There Is Only You, we're going to do There Is Only You. So it's more freeing. So yeah.
Okay, so thanks for your time and see you here at Mexico.
Thank you, dear.
Bye.
Gracias, Elizabeth. Now we move on with Antonio from El Parlante Music. Antonio.
Thanks, Adri. Thank you very much. Hi, Johnny. How
Hi,
are you?
Antonio. Doing well, brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. First of all, congrats for these 5 nights in Mexico City. Also for your latest album, 10 Small Fractures. First, I'm going to say the question in Spanish for the journalist and then in English for you, okay?
Okay.
La melancolía en tu música es notable. ¿Qué papel juegan las emociones en tu proceso creativo y cómo influyen en tus letras? The melancholy in your music is notable. What role do emotions play in your creative process and how do they influence in your lyrics?
How do my emotions play in the creative process? They absolutely control my creative process. And I'll reflect right now on a song that I wrote back in 1987. I was in the middle of one of those things in life that we all have to go through. They hurt us so bad, love lost, a love that was lost, and I had no control. Well, I was overwhelmed by what I was feeling. And I was so captured by it that one day while walking down the street, I just kept repeating a word over and over, and a sentence rather. I know your heart is breaking. I know your heart is breaking. I know your heart is breaking. And from the moment I started talking to myself and acknowledging what I was feeling, I was ready to walk back home and let that song finish itself. And that song became The Waiting Hour. So it is 100%, I am captured by the emotions. And the only way that I can deal with them is to write it down on paper. And some of those become songs.
Okay, Johnny. The second question, la segunda pregunta. ¿Qué tan difícil es elegir setlists diferentes para 5 conciertos seguidos? How difficult is it to choose different setlists for 5 consecutive concerts?
I'm glad you asked me this question because no one else has been knowing the suffering that I've been going through every day, as recent as today. I am trying to plan these 5 nights, and plus we cannot play 7 hours a night, so it has to be condensed. So that, Antonio, that has been very difficult, very difficult, and I'm sure it will keep changing all the way up until the first night.
Okay, Johnny, the last question. Si tuvieras que describir la experiencia de estos 5 conciertos a alguien que no conoce a Human Drama, ¿qué palabras usarías para captar su atención y emoción? If you had to describe the experience of these 5 concerts to someone who doesn't know Human Drama, what words would you use to capture their attention and excitement?
I can only say what our intentions will be. Our intentions of doing these types of concerts are to bring the audience closer to us. So first I'll say to this person that I would be describing, Human Drama is about art. It's about emotions. It's about sharing what we all feel as human beings. So expect that to be what our intention is. We want to share the things that we all feel together, the pain, the love, the loss in our life. And we want to touch our audience metaphorically. We want to touch them. We want to touch our audience. So that's what we hope. That's what we hope. I will tell you that the big concerts that we have done over the years are beautiful. Starting back with La Plaza Condesa, the Circo Valedor, Metropolitan, Teatro Metropolitan, correct? Those are beautiful. We love doing them. But what I noticed was the bigger the concert, the more distance I feel from the audience. When I did my book celebrations and talks back last January, I think, I was in a 150-person theater. And I loved that I could speak to them right there. It felt more right for the band. So our intention in breaking away from the big concert where there's a band way up there and we're way down here is to bring it together. And I hope that those 5 nights allow our audience and the new audience to see us like they have never seen us before.
Thank you very much, Johnny, and see you soon in October.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Adri.
Thank you. Gracias, Antonio. So, Johnny, I also would like to ask you a question. From all these songs and this vast catalog that you have, which are the ones that you enjoy performing the most, either in a big venue or, in a closer space like the one that you will have very soon?
Right. Well, the waiting hour, once again, is always one of my favorites to perform. I think it's one of Human Drama's iconic songs. I think, long after I'm gone, that song will still be in someone's room, in their car, in the club. So I always love doing that. What I'm finding from the sets that we're putting together as we're going back to some of the other albums is there are things we haven't performed in a while. And I'll mention There Is Only You or I Could Be a Killer. Those have been a lot of fun doing again. A Million Years is always something that I feel a closeness to when we perform. And then obviously the song that I feel has really brings people in a live setting is when I do This Forgotten Love on acoustic guitar. It's always a special moment for me. So that would be the answer.
We're really looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right now, I will say the question for Guillermo. He is from Rock Activist, and he asks, what does it mean for the band to keep these shows and, having the audience closer in comparison to bigger venues?
Yeah, this, in my opinion, is just more correct. It's been a long time since we've done it. And I think I think this event is going to end up being one of the most special things that human drama has ever done in Mexico. Not to take away from the Metropolitan or Plaza Condesa or Circo Valador or the Blackberry or Lunario or all the things, or Foro Sol. This is going to be very special because I think this setting is going to work best to communicate with our audience.
That's right. I agree with you. There's nothing that beats, that closeness between the artist and the people, its fans. Thank you. Now I have another question. This is from Jorge Caballero from La Jornada newspaper. Let me just read you the translation here. Give me a second. He says, do you believe in the transformative power of the stage and how music affects you while you are on the stage?
I'm going to direct that in the way that there are times in my life when I am an audience member, when I'm a listener. And I look back on the first time that I heard David Bowie, or the first time that I heard T-Rex or the Velvet Underground, Tom Waits, Leonard Cohen, Marianne Faithfull, and a lot of people I'm forgetting. The stage is the place for us to have our chance to speak human drama, my songs, myself. And our hope is always that when our audience leaves the venue and they go out, that they have something that they'll be talking about, a memory, whether it's one song, whether it's the concert, whether it's the one time that our music spoke to them, but it's something they will keep with themselves the rest of their life. That is always our intention. And that might sound grand, but I have kept the first moment I heard David Bowie, I have kept it with me the rest of my life. That's what I think is the most important about music. So it's always been our intention since we started.
Thank you. And now I move on with Fernanda Smith. Fernanda, ¿me escuchas? Can you hear me?
Sí, muchas gracias, Adri. Hello, Johnny. I'm Fernanda Smith. How has your experience been with the new members that make up the human drama? Alexandra, Gerardo, Greg, Julieta, Steve, Tim, and Dulce Luna.
Well, I'm so excited that our band is now 50% Mexican and 50% American. I'm so excited by it. That to me also makes this event very special. So I look forward to getting to Mexico City to start the rehearsals with everyone in the same room. Up until now, we're separate in two different countries, but I can't wait to get there and start the rehearsals.
Yeah. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye, dear.
Gracias. Gracias, Fernanda. So now I will say the next question. This is from Cesar from Proceso Magazine. And he says that you are considered a legend in the music where, yourself and the band are a constant reference for other musicians. What can you tell us about a new wave of bands that have emerged and keep, the genre alive and the music alive, regardless of what type of music or variants of music you play?
Well, first off, it's a compliment to be mentioned in that way. And how beautiful would it be to hear some of these young bands do their versions of human drama songs? Let's face it, Leonard Cohen got more popular because of other people recording his work that had not been introduced to the world, really. So I would like for human drama to be that kind of a project where it can span all genres of music and everyone has the opportunity to do their version of our song. So I would hope that we would be able to continue and stay alive by all these beautiful young bands doing some of our songs. So fingers crossed.
Yes, and I think any music fan does that, and I'm sure you yourself did it when, you know, with the first artist that you admire, and then you looked up like what, you know, are their influences, and then you go on like this, and you know, that way you keep, you know, the flow of music. And thank
That's right.
you. So now I have another question. This is from Marlene. She is from El Universal newspaper. Marlene,
Hi, Johnny.
go ahead.
Hi, dear.
Thank you. Looking back on Human Drama 30 years career, what are the moments that stand out most to you, and what are you most excited about for the future?
Okay. The moment that stands out for me is the memory of the work that it took to create the World Inside album. That was a critical period in our life. The work was very, very difficult against all odds, right? Does that make sense? Against all odds, we were able to create the World Inside album. It would have been very easy to stop doing everything after we got released from the major record label RCA, but I decided that I was not going to stop. So that moment of that creation of that album is one of the things I'll never forget. Never forget. And as far as the future goes, I don't look too much into the future. When you get to be my age, you look more backwards. And I'm much more appreciative these days of what I've been able to do. I am certainly very excited that I'll be making another trip to Mexico City and seeing the fans and getting to know some new fans. So I'm happiest about that right now. And then hopefully the future will bring some more great nights to share our music with audiences around the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene. So now I move on with Fabian Rodriguez from Visión MX. Fabian.
Thank you, Adriana.
Go
Hi,
ahead.
Johnny.
Hey, man.
Talk about fans. Have you played in Mexico before? How would you describe the Mexican audience response?
Well, I think the Mexican folks that we have met over the years just listen to music a whole different way. They feel it deeply. They examine your words. They learn from your words, because people will talk with me about these things. So I just think the passion for art in Mexico surpasses any place I've ever been in the world, and we're happy to be accepted. Happy to be accepted.
Nice. And what do you think? Do you have any aspects of Mexican culture influencing your music, or how you see it?
Well, no culture has ever influenced my music. I think everything that I've ever done comes from inside of me. And as you know, you can have the best day of your life wherever you are, and you can have the worst day of your life wherever you are. It doesn't matter. So I deal with those emotions. So it's always from here, and where I have been has never played a part in the writing. It's always inside, you know.
Nice. Thank you so much, Johnny. Thank you, Adriana.
You're welcome. Now I will read the next question. This is from Israel from Heaven and Hell magazine. So
Okay.
he says, all artistic creations are conditioned to be part of a set of cultural manifestations today. However, the cultural industry sets certain standards and norms to stay in the public. Your proposal to do this kind of shows in a more intimate and different venue seems to me like an important step towards changing these standards. What is the role of human drama in the cultural industry today?
That is not for the band or myself to state. That is for the people to state. So your question would be best asked of our audience, not of the band. Remember, an artist's intention is to create something that is real and share it with whoever, one person or millions of people. So that audience determines the part that human drama or our songs play in the overall community or the state of whatever community we're in, whether we be here in the United States or in Mexico. Good question. Very good question. Not for me to answer.
Thank you, Johnny. Now I move on again with Arnulfo. He has another question. Arnulfo, go ahead.
Thank you, Adri. Here again, Johnny. Well, let's talk about it, about the legends. You're the legends, but I have a last question, I promise.
Oh, that's okay.
What is your opinion about it, about Jonette Napolitano, Concrete Plans? Oh, okay, Jonette lives between LA and Rosarito, loves Mexico, loves Mexico. Well, what is your opinion? Plus, Jim Mankey too, plus his influence tremendous.
Who did you just say? What was the second name?
Yeah, Jim Mankey. Jim Mankey played guitar,
yes,
Concrete Blonde.
yes.
You know,
Yes.
you know what I mean.
Of course. Well, I'll always say that, when I talk about the things that were happening here in Los Angeles when we first arrived, Concrete Blonde and Jonette were legendary here in Los Angeles. It has always been bothersome to me that she didn't quite spread to the rest of the world as big as her talent is. But I guess, that's just the luck of the draw, right? It's just, you never know how it's going to work. So I think that as time passes, Jonette will actually get bigger. She'll get more legendary as the time passes because of the way that she has handled her career. So I've always loved her and Concrete Blonde. And yes, that they share the two countries is beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much, Johnny.
You,
I see you soon. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Adri.
Brother.
Arnulfo. Now I have once again Elizabeth Garcia. She's from Metro newspaper. Elizabeth.
Yes. I have another question about your book. Last year you released a book. So I want to know if you are planning to release a new book, or are you writing a new book nowadays?
So that book does include every song that I've written that got released. I think maybe it's missing one or two. So for me to write another book like that, I'd have to live 40 more years, which isn't going to happen. So the only thing I could look at writing would be like an autobiography or a memoir or something that talks about my creation. But the problem I have with that is every time I start to think about writing that kind of a book, what I will say to myself is, wow, you really think you're special. You think everybody wants to hear what you have to say. So my ego is just, I can't let that ego run away. So that's why I haven't sat down to write my words of wisdom.
Okay.
So I don't think I'll ever write that book because I don't, how do I put it in good terms? Put it in a nice way. I don't have that much self-importance. I think all the importance that I will get in this world comes from people that hear my music. I think that's all I was meant to be. So to be a writer and the words of wisdom, I don't know that I have that in me.
Okay, and thank you. Second question, it's about, it's any chance that you could tell us one of your special guests for these 5 nights in Mexico City?
I would prefer not to. There's not a, we don't have a lot. We have a couple, we have a few. But I will tell you that we're going to be bringing one of the original members of Human Drama back for 1 or 2 of the nights.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Now I move on with another question. This one is from Jesus Tepepa. He is from Cobalto 60. He says, are your songs are photographs of your spirit or realities made into fantasies?
Boy, I like that first one. What was it? Photographs? What?
Photographs of your spirit.
I choose that. That is a great line.
I love
it.
Uh-huh.
In fact, if I do write another book, that's going to be the title. So
Awesome. I'm going to put it on of your spirit.
My spirit.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's the fellow's name that came up with the line?
Jesus Tepepa. Jesus.
Hey,
let me see if you can.
Jesus is going to have to be my ghostwriter. He's going to have to be my, yeah.
It does. He asks very interesting questions. I can assure you that.
Yes. Yeah.
Jesus, ¿nos escuchaste? I'm just asking if he heard. Jesus, ¿estás por aquí?
Aquí estoy.
Oh, so there is Jesus.
Hi, Jesus. Good to see you.
Jesus.
Dice
Thanks.
que
Nice
son
to see you.
fotografías
Nice to
de su espíritu. Eso fue lo que
Yeah.
respondió.
Yeah.
Thank
Beautiful.
you, Johnny.
Thank you,
Gracias,
sir.
Aurelita.
Muchas
Thanks for
gracias,
your-
señor.
Muchas gracias. Also,
Thanks.
Johnny, I would like to ask you, what's, I know you are focused right now on these upcoming concerts, but do you have any other plans for yourself, for the band afterwards?
I don't have any plans at the moment. I have always found that one thing leads to another. So I'm going to see how this week in Mexico feels. I'll come back home, enjoy it for a little while, and then I'll make a couple of decisions on what to do.
Awesome. Thank you. And our next question is from Samuel from Los Festivales. Samuel, can you hear me?
Hola, hola.
Hola. Go ahead,
Hi,
Samuel.
Johnny.
How are you?
How are you, man?
Great.
I'm gonna ask you 2 questions, 2 fast questions. The first is about the time. What significance does the concept of the time hold for you in your life and artistic career?
And when you say time, what are you referring to?
To your album?
I don't quite understand the question.
What is the significance does the concept of the time, the time hold for you in your life and artistic career? Or why did you choose to capture such a precise number in that album title?
Okay, time.
A ver
Time.
si quieres, ajá, dímelo en español y yo se la traduzco.
Okay,
So,
yeah,
Johnny,
Adriana,
did you
you're
got
going to
it?
have to help me. No,
Yes.
no, I don't understand the question at all. I'm sorry.
Just give me a second and I will translate.
Yes,
A ver, Samuel,
thank you.
cuéntame.
que ¿cuál es el significado del concepto del tiempo en su vida y en su carrera artística? Esto referido a su álbum de 14,384 días.
Espérame, 14,000, ¿qué? Es que lo estoy apuntando
Sí.
para que no se me olvide. 14,000, ¿qué más me dijiste?
384.
384 días.
Exacto. Ajá.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so he says, like, what is the meaning of time, in your life and your career? This is in reference of your album, 14,384 days.
Oh, I see.
So that's it.
Yeah, okay. I still don't know that I'm going to have a great answer to the question. Look, I'm 67 years old now. Life feels pretty different to me. The way you look at life at 67 is nowhere near the way you look at it at 35 or 40. So I'm experiencing something that you can't plan for. So all I know is I have no regrets for how I used my time here on Earth. Should I leave tomorrow, I leave very proudly. I hope that everyone can have a sense of completion when their time here is done. My goal was always to, if I'm going to be here on the planet, make it more special because I was here. So that's the only way that I can answer that question. I hope I did a decent job.
Yes. Go
Thanks,
ahead,
Johnny.
Samuel.
And my next question is, what is your favorite song to play live?
Historically, I'm going to say that doing the Waiting Hour once again and This Forgotten Love, doing it acoustically, are always highlights of the night for me personally. So those feel really good, and I feel like I have a good chance of communicating during those two songs, the way that we do them. So I would say right now, to choose two, those would be the two. But I'll tell you, at our rehearsals here in Los Angeles, there's been one song that has been standing out, and it's called Let the Memories Live Here from the album Blurred Images. Because I always thought that's one of my better songs I've ever written. And at rehearsals, it feels really good. So there you go.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you, brother.
De nada, gracias, Samuel. So our next question is from Luis Valdovinos. He is from El Sol de México newspaper. Luis, ¿me escuchas?
Sí, Adriana, gracias.
Go
Hi,
ahead.
Johnny. My question
Hi,
is,
sir.
looking at the beginning of the band, how important was for Human Drama to work with Ian Brody? What experience do you remember from that time?
Good
Thank you.
question. Good question. Yeah, Ian Brody, what a sweet, sweet man. I'll tell you that I got to take an overview of what a producer's job is to do in the studio. And by watching Ian, I learned the things that were right for my band, and I learned how you can make mistakes if you listen, say, to a producer. You have to really work the balance. So I think I learned how to produce albums by watching both the positive and the negative of having such a world-class producer such as Ian. And we had great times together, and I really appreciate everything that I learned during the course of the two albums that he worked with us on. Great guy.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you.
Gracias, Luis. So I have the next question. This is from Giselle from Melodía Viajera. Giselle. ¿Me escuchas, Giselle?
Sí. Hi,
Go
Johnny. Hi, Adriana.
Hi, dear.
Well, my question is, what advice would you give to new generations of bands from rock?
Wow. I think about this a lot. I have actually done a couple of talks where I talk with musicians and artists and things. I did one in Mexico City at the university. I don't know that I have a right to advise what an artist should do currently, like to do with now, 2024. But I can tell you that I would be able to advise a person as to what to expect, what your expectations should be, what your approach should be, how you should let other influences not affect you, how you should never go for money, never let money or owning a big house be in your plans. So I could really help people on how to be a true artist, but I don't know that I could help them negotiate their way in this new way that music is listened to. The Spotify, the streaming, that bullshit. I don't think that I could help a person get through it. I started in a very different time in the 70s. The 70s is where I started. So I can advise how to be an artist, but I can't tell them how to make it, because making it is still being honest to yourself and doing the best art that you can do. Sorry for the long answer.
Thank you so much, Johnny.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Giselle. So this will be our last question. This is again from Fernanda Smith. Fernanda?
Yes, Adri. Johnny, I have heard that the band The Dark Star Calling is doing a collaboration with you. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, they called me, I guess it's been over a year now, and they gave me a demo of one of their songs, and I put the demo on, and I have to be really honest, I really liked it. I said, this is nice. So I said, yeah, give me a little bit of time. I was in the middle of doing 10 Small Fractures at that moment. And I said, let me see if I feel like I can do a good job with the vocal. And I did it. I really enjoyed doing it. And I sent it to them, and they thought it was good. So that's how it happened. Just that simple.
Yeah. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Adri.
Dear. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Oh, I thought that we had another question. Okay. So Johnny, first of all, I would like to once again thank you for being here with us today, to answering all of our questions and sharing this with us. We are truly very excited. Is there anything else that you would like to say to us before we finish this conference?
Sure. I will thank the Mexican audience, and I'll thank all the Mexico press, all the press people, for welcoming us into your country. It has been a beautiful 35 years that we have spent. We are proud that you're allowing us to continue it with our show 5 Nights on Insurgentes. And we can never in words say how special the relationship is. But after the 5 concerts, I think everyone will know how special this relationship we have with your country is. So thank you again. We love you dearly.
Thank you so much. It's been our pleasure, and we will see you very soon in October for the shows, and best of luck. Thank you. Have a good one,
you, dear.
everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Adriana.
much. Thank you.